Welcome everyone to episode 2 of Bulldog Blitz. I'm Jackson Leopold, and as always, we will be joined by the head football coach of the Fayetteville Bulldogs, Coach Casey Dick. We are happy to be with you here on the Fayetteville Sports Network, and the show begins now. Welcome back, everyone. I also want to welcome in head football coach of the Fayetteville Bulldogs, Casey Dick. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach, coming off the Week 1 victory against the Cabot Panthers, did anything about your team surprise you?
You know, I just think the way that, we handled, obviously, the weather delay that we were blessed to be a part of. It's one of those things that you can't really, script in practice or script during fall camp. Handling those, everybody talks about wanting to handle adversity different ways. And sometimes, like we tell our kids, we can't control everything, things that happen to us in the midst of everything. So we were really pleased with how our kids handled it. Obviously, we started fast with a defensive turnover on special teams. Obviously, we were able to turn around and score that for a touchdown. Then we got the weather delay. So we were just really pleased with how we played once we came back from the weather delay for sure. Proud of our kids. Lots of unselfish plays on tapes that we were able to show them. So overall, Week 1, just pretty pleased with how everything went.
And Coach, I'm glad you mentioned the delay because I actually wanted to ask you, with the long delay, how do you feel your team responded after that?
I thought they responded really, really well. It's one of those things, again, you don't really know how it's going to work out. When the delay first started, they sent a lot of our kids to the arena, their arena, and so we had to go get our kids out of the arena, put them back in the locker room, but they did well. Hydrated gave us a chance to look at a couple of things, obviously make some adjustments, both offensively and defensively, but also gave some guys a little bit of a break, time to recover, but thought they played really, really clean after that for sure.
Thanks, Coach. Now, before we look back at some special players from this past Friday's game, let's take a look at another athletic program here at FHS. We'll be right back.
Fayetteville High School golf team is one of the most successful programs at Fayetteville. Both guys and girls teams have won 14 state championships alone, the most out of any athletic program at Fayetteville.
There's a lot of our golfers play tournament golf in the summertime, and so that really kind of kicks us off on a good note because they're already used to competition at that point. And so really we're a step or two ahead of everybody else by the time we start our season first week of August. We compete against ourselves in practice. So the key is for myself and Coach Reed, my assistant, to develop practices that aren't the same just going out and hitting balls all the time. It's more of creating competition within our team, and that's usually where we start to get a little better and keep it, we keep everybody's interest level up because they're always competing. There's really not a day that we don't compete at something.
Fayetteville High School athletics are very successful, and there are many factors that make it possible.
For the golf and for all sports, I really believe it starts with how our community feels about athletics and sports. I'm lucky because I know in Fayetteville, golf is supported by our community in a great way. That alone allows you to continue to grow the program here at Fayetteville High School, and because of the support we get from our community. And I think that's true with all of our sports. I think our community is so focused on making sure that we have what we need to compete with anyone, and that's why our programs are always, I think, at the top of the list.
The Fayetteville High golf team looks to have another successful season in 2024.
Welcome back. Now, Coach, I wanted to ask you, was there any specific position group or player that surprised you most?
I thought our offensive line played really, really well. Having almost 600 yards of total offense. Obviously, I don't think we allowed a sack all night either. And had about 215 yards rushing. So I think once we're able to do that, that whole group, those 5 guys played really, really well for us up front. Again, we're allowing us to do a variety of different things. So I think once we're able to do those things and those guys play at a high level, it lifts everybody up. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I felt like Brody Jones played a really good game. We asked him to do some different things this week based on some things that we had that a normal corner wouldn't do. But thought he played really well. Thought our secondary played overall really well. I think Cabot completed 11 balls throughout the night. So we're pretty pleased with those two groups. And then obviously just overall defensively, I think when you hold somebody to 13 points, that's obviously a pretty good night as well.
Coach, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, our next episode of Bulldog Blitz will air on October 4th before the game at Rogers. Be sure to see us there. And that's it for this episode of Bulldog Blitz.
Why you come to weights this morning? Why you come to weights this morning? No, you don't. Nobody's school starts that early here. That's illegal. Well, hey, beer, 7:45. Now come over here and get 10 minutes workouts in. Luke, it's good to see you. So glad you can make it.
So are y'all going to the game?
Yeah. So we're going to go through like on a normal Monday. We're going to go through every formation, kind of scout and report stuff. We got about 10 minutes, all right? We're going to talk about why we're doing what we're doing, who we're looking for, who is where, okay? Perfect. When he's on that side of the formation, the one weird thing, they run zone schemes and hitch screens where he comes out the block. So like when he releases, I'd like to get hands on him, but don't freak out. Like we got to play the run first. We can't just take off chasing him. Well, at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to meet up here. I'd like to go ahead and do that. I can't believe you're out mowing at 8 anyways. If you're mowing in my neighborhood at 8 o'clock, we have issues. Okay. They can still come back to counter, and they can come back to some weird run looks this way, so you need to be an apt run defender. When you have a 4-eye, you got to play halfway. You got to play halfway. The good news is you're really fast, so you guys will have plenty of chances to get out there. Good alignment halfway. Don't invent stuff. Hey, Robley was mowing grass at 8 in the morning, waking up the neighbors. It's all, no, hey, it's all wet. It's probably all clumped up. People trying to get a quality job, man. You gotta let the grass dry out. It dulls your blades and stuff. I'm gonna call you into the city next time you miss and complain.